All right, number 3, we want to know where does cosine x have a horizontal tangent line, and where does negative sine x have a value of 0, and we're going to explain the connection between the two. So if I've kind of opened up the Trig sheets and handouts from our course, and there's a section that has the graphs. So in this first part, we're asking for cosine to have a horizontal tangent line. That's going to happen when you have a maximum or minimum. So I can draw the graph out here. It starts at 0, and then it goes pi half, pi over 2, and then pi, and then 3 pi over 2, and then 2 pi. So this is a full cycle. Cosine starts at a height of 1, and then it comes down to 0, and then it curves under at -1. So this will be -1, and this will be a +1, and then it goes back up here, and then it curves out and just starts the pattern again. Now, with sine, I'm going to graph that with a different color. Sine starts at 0, okay, and then it goes up. So sine will go up and then come down and then go down and then come back. So that would be a sine. However, they're asking for negative sine. So negative sine is just going to flip this graph. So it would start going down like this, and then come up here, and then go up here and come back down. So the dotted line and the black line are the ones we want to look at. So according to these drawings, and of course you can, again, in the class, look at our trig cheat sheets and handouts and see all the graphs of the trig functions. When cosine has a horizontal tangent line, it's going to be at the maximum or min. That's going to happen at pi, and then at 2 pi, and every pi interval is going to have a horizontal tangent line that's going to be a maximum and or a minimum. So cosine is going to be at positive or negative pi. Yeah, we can extend this going to the left and we'll get the same pattern. So every pi or negative pi, and also at 0, you can kind of see that one there, it will have a horizontal tangent line. And then the next part says what value does the negative sine has a horizontal tangent, or have a value of 0. So when does negative sine have a value of 0? Okay, so negative sine starts here, goes up, and then comes down. So the dotted line is the one we're looking at. So the value is 0 when we're at 0, when we're at pi, and then when we're at 2 pi. So every time we hit pi again, the negative dotted line is at 0. So it's not asking horizontal tangent line, but at 0. It's going to be at 0 at the same values. And then what is the connection between the two? So the values are the same because negative sine is the derivative of cosine, and the slope of a horizontal tangent line is equal to 0. So this is the one that's going to describe what's going on. We looked in the text and we showed that the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Since those two are derivatives of each other, one is the slope of the tangent line, and it's going to be 0 at every high point here on the black line, which corresponds to when that dotted blue line is at 0.